Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's been quite a while since I've done a voice recording, but yeah, let's get straight into it. So today what I want to show you guys is how to do more advanced color correction, I guess just outside of Fortnite editing, which I usually show, but yeah, in real editing as well. Excuse me. So first, you want to go to the color panel. If you don't see it, you can go to your workspace and then go to color, or you can just use this shortcut here. So now that we are in color, it should show all these sides, and the most important part is first. Okay, so if we go to this side and we press tmotty scopes, yeah, you see it shows, and yeah, if it doesn't show, you can show all these, so you can see all of this. All right, now this just shows you how the colors are currently in the video. Now this clip is relatively well color corrected, so it doesn't need that much color correcting in terms of fixing it, but yeah, these are quite important because as most people know, each monitor is different, especially if some people set their monitors to go to a blue light, or they set it to be cooler or warmer, and like I do, I think my monitor is slightly warmer than others. So yeah, everyone's is different, so it's important to have this just to show you what the colors actually are. So top one is the color waveforms, and then there's a few of these which are the histograms, and then there's also the vector scopes, and there's this parade RGB. So yeah, the main things that we're going to be focusing on today is just the basic correction. So I mean, over here, if you just take a look at it, right, what I just did there was I used the color tool. So this tool pretty much determines what should be white in your video. So let's say I think this isn't white enough, I can do this. You see immediately it kind of changed a bit, so it's slightly warmer now. And you can just play around with temperature regardless. You can make it really warm like this, seem like it's like autumn, or you can make it like feel really wintry. But yeah, I kind of like this look. In terms of tint, I think you shouldn't change that too much. And exposure, if you think it's overexposed or underexposed, I think this clip's just right because I think they did edit it a bit as well. But yeah, and if you want to add contrast just gives it more of a cinematic look. So if you get rid of it, it looks really faded out. But if that's the look you're going for, then I mean, by all means go for it. I also like to bump up the contrast more, so it looks even more cinematic. And in terms of highlights, just play around with it. It pretty much just, if you look at the waveform, it like adjusts the top area, pushes everything, and like exposes everything a bit more. So I don't think I want to change that out too much, maybe a bit. And in terms of shadows, it's like how bright it is. If you want a more cinematic look, I would turn down the shadows, so the shadows look even stronger. And if you want to make the whites brighter, and sure, maybe a little bit, and then shadows gonna be darker. And if you look at it without this, it looks a bit faded out before. Now the colors look a lot more rich. And that's basically some pretty basic stuff. Now that's just basic correction. Now in the creative area, you can make it look faded. You can sharpen it if you want. I personally wouldn't really sharpen it. But you can also use some vibrance. If you look at the color side, especially in the graphs, it's even more like obvious what's happening to the clip. And saturation, you can just pump that up, but I don't think you should, because then it starts looking a little strange. Oops. Oh, also, if you just double click these like sliders, it will reset back to normal. So that's just a cool thing to note. And this is just a tint for the shadows. Like I can make it warmer, or like, but yeah, I generally wouldn't do too much of it. And then for the tint balance, this is only if you have the tint already there, so yeah. And in terms of curves, you can kind of see this as well. Like you can pull it down and to make it even darker. You can adjust the red as well. But yeah, generally I wouldn't do too much of this. And why is it goes a bit overboard. And saturation curves, yeah, I don't think you should do too much of that. That's a lot more advanced. In terms of color wheels, yeah, you can kind of see this is adjusting the strength of the shadows. You can also adjust the color here as well. And in terms of midtones, it's the same thing too. You're just adjusting like the brightness, yeah. I mean, if you just go through the clip, you can kind of see, especially in this area, I think maybe what we did earlier kind of affects it, so you just have to be really careful when you do this. Actually, I don't think it was too much of that. Yeah, it is just normal. The lighting. Yeah, it already has it. Oh, it doesn't. Yeah, in the creative section, I think just be careful because, like, as you saw there, when I pumped up the vibrance, that made it look really strange. So I think this look is already good. Now I'm just gonna go find another clip that needs more color correcting. So, and I'll show you guys how to fix it. Alright, so now if you look at this clip on the other hand, you see the colors are a little bit more off. Now the most important part here is just a basic correction. Like, let's say I want to make this white. Now immediately that already looks a bit more natural. I still think in terms of yeah, we need to set that to it. Maybe set this to it. Yeah, so as you can see, it looks a lot more natural than it originally was. And over here, if we just, I think it's already, the exposure is fine. So we can just bump the contrast a bit more. Maybe I think 70 will work well for this. And in terms of the highlights, I don't think we should, I think maybe we should remove a bit of it. And then the shadows, yeah, something like a 40 should be good. And as you can see, colors already look a lot more rich. That's the look that you're going for. And in terms of saturation, bump this up if you want. Maybe a 120 is good, so it's a bit more strong. And just in the creative section, maybe we can adjust the sharpness a bit, and we can probably adjust the vibrance too. I think that's good. Now if you compare that to what it was before, this was before, this is after, I think we made a pretty good change to it. It looks a lot more rich. And yeah, that would be about it for the video. If you guys like more of this stuff, that's just more video editing in general, please comment down below, and if you have any video requests, I'd be happy to take those as well. So just tell me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.